In this video, we are going to go through how to properly close out a production order and a sales order, a preprint sales and preprint production order. This is used when when an order comes out of production and is in shipping and is ready to be shipped out to the customer. So we're going to start with the production order. This is what they look like when they start. They'll be marked purchased and received. Sometimes they'll be marked produced, sometimes they won't. It's just a matter of whether or not someone from production has gotten to mark that yet. If they are not marked produced, but they are ready to ship, go ahead and hit production here. Go over and mark all done. And only if it is complete. If it's only partial, go ahead and mark it partial, and you can see it change your status here. If you hit the wrong one, it's fine. Just to go and hit the right one. So once it's marked for production, we are going to move on to finish the order. The next thing we're going to do is change order status here. I'm going to go over here and let me drag that all the way in. Oh, it's not going to let me. I'll apologize for that. We're going to hit update, pick, and mark done. You can just barely see the done button here on that side of my screen. And now what we're going to do for the last step, and this is on the production order only. This is very important. You're only going to deal with the invoice tab on a production order, never on a sales order. On the production order, there should not be any money involved. This is an internal order only. There's no money. So first thing we're going to do is make sure sales tax is turned off. The next thing we're going to do is see if everything really is all done in there. In this case, we've only got the one polo. We can either hit this check mark here or the all check. If you need to check things individually, definitely do it here. This part's a little tricky. If you click all done and it's not all done, it's very difficult to fix. So just be careful with what you choose here. In this case, we're going to change our status to green here. This has been produced, but this is where you would record like defects. Let's say this was a massive screen printing order and there were 300 shirts on here, and let's say 2 of them got messed up somehow. A misprint, they were damaged, what have you. We could record the defects here. In this case, it's only 1 shirt. It came out fine. So next we're going to go up to inventory add, and this is where the internal part number, our Calyx part number, gets created. So we are going to hit, in this case, add all, but you could also use this button here. And it's going to move it down here, and now it's created this item in the inventory system. So we're going to go back to invoice and hit mark as invoiced. Again, make sure you only do this on the production order. Now you could come up here to find order if you don't have your sales order already pulled up. Say you need to look for it, you could type it in here and go. In our case, I already have it pulled up, so I'm going to use the arrow to navigate to this one. Now I don't want to be in the invoice part of this. This is the sales order. This is where the customer is paying for items. This tab is for accounting purposes only. We are not going to touch it. We are going to go over to order, which will immediately bring us to line items, and this is where we want to be. So on this particular order, we had 2 things. One was needed to be produced, the William Murray Polo, and 1 item was already produced, the tech organizer that would have been in Sonoma. So at this point, we're going to assume both products have made it to the shipping bay and are ready to ship. We can either deduct them individually, which is useful in the case of partial orders, or we can hit deduct all. Now we need to go to receiving, because we need to make sure all of our statuses are up to date. In receiving, it's taken us to the inventory tab. probably more used to seeing things here in the receiving tab, but there's nothing to receive. Everything here is coming out of inventory. So that's where we're going to be. I'm going to hit process all. That changes our receiving status to green to yes. And next we're going to hit ship. We could ship items individually. Let's say only the tech organizer was ready to go. We could do that. Or we can hit ship all. We're going to change our order status. Coming over here. And so normally you would have shipped things by this point. So you would want to have made sure, in this case I haven't actually shipped anything, this is a training order, but you would want to make sure that your tracking number was here and that you had added your notes to accounting as well. But with all the statuses now green except for invoicing, this order is ready to go. The production order is closed. When we hit invoice, it closed it. And now this is ready for accounting, and we can bring the paperwork to the proper place. In this case, it's a Calyx order. It goes to Joanna. If it's any other order, it goes to the work order wall.